There is a city that does not wake when the sun rises. Its streets remain quiet. Its windows stay closed. The people inside sleep through the daylight, and only when the sky turns dark do they stir, as though the moon itself is their alarm clock. You arrive in this city without remembering how. You stand on a wide street lined with lampposts that glow faintly even though the sun is shining above. The light of the lamps is pale, like moonlight caught in glass. It is as if the city refuses to recognize the day. The buildings are tall and lean slightly inward, like they are listening to you. Balconies are filled with empty chairs, rocking slowly though there is no wind. Shutters open and close on their own, as if the houses are breathing. You walk. Your footsteps make no sound, but somewhere far off you hear bells, slow, deliberate, echoing as if underwater. They do not mark the hour, they mark something else, something the city knows, but you do not. At the end of the street, you find a plaza. In the center stands a clock tower, but the hands of the clock move in circles that do not match each other. One spins too fast. One crawls so slowly you cannot tell if it moves at all. And a third hand points not to numbers, but to windows around the plaza. Every time it shifts, a different window creaks open, revealing a fragment of dream. You see a staircase that ends in the sky. You see a table set for breakfast, where the plates are made of mirrors. You see an ocean contained in a teacup. And then the window closes again. You continue walking, down narrower streets, where the air smells faintly of cinnamon and stone. Cats wander here, but they are not ordinary cats. Some have eyes that shine like lanterns. Some leave trails of letters in the air when they move. One stops in front of you and speaks, not in words, but in the sound of rustling fabric, which somehow you understand. It says, "The city is not asleep. The city is dreaming." The cat vanishes, leaving only a single silver whisker behind. When you pick it up, it dissolves in your hand like snow. At last you find a door. It stands alone, with no building around it. The wood is carved with shapes that rearrange themselves when you blink. You open the door, and there is a room inside. The room is vast, but it has no ceiling. Instead, above you hangs the sky, but not the same sky you saw outside. Here it is full of lanterns floating upward, each glowing softly. Some lanterns carry memories. You see a child running through a meadow. You see an old man writing letters to someone who never answered. You see a woman holding a bird that is also a star. The lanterns drift higher until they vanish in the darkness above. In the middle of the room stands a table. On the table is a book. The pages turn slowly on their own. Each page shows a different place, a different dream. You lean closer, and the paper seems to breathe. When you touch it, the room tilts gently, and you realize you are no longer standing. You are floating, carried upward with the lanterns, rising through the ceiling that was never really there. Now you are above the city. From here you can see its true shape. The streets form spirals that wind inward toward a center no one reaches. The rooftops are covered in silver moss that glows in the dark. The rivers run not with water, but with reflections of other cities that may or may not exist. The city sleeps. It will always sleep. But inside its dream, you walk endlessly, moving through plazas, staircases, doorways, lantern halls, and oceans in teacups. The dream stretches on, soft and endless. You walk without hurry. You drift without fear. You rest inside the rhythm of a city that never wakes and never needs to. The lamps glow. The bells sound. The dream continues. And you let yourself sink deeper into it until you are not just walking through the city's dream. You are part of it. The staircase coils upward, yet you feel yourself descending. Each step hums with a sound that is not a note, but a memory. Laughter, thunder, the soft crackle of fire long since cooled. It is not you climbing the stairs. It is the stairs climbing you. At last, you arrive. The floor is glass, but beneath it is not earth. Beneath it is a sky. Clouds drift lazily under your feet, and once in a while a bird, or perhaps the shadow of a bird that once was, passes beneath you and vanishes into nothing. The walls here are different. Not stone, not liquid, but something like woven dreams. They shimmer with faint colors, colors you cannot name. Every blink brings a new hue you are sure has never existed before. There are no cages here. Instead, there are doorways, dozens of them, some tall as mountains, others so small they could fit inside your palm. Each doorway breathes, expanding and contracting, as if alive. You step toward one. The curator is there again, though you never saw them arrive. Their coat of maps has changed. The rivers run backward now. The mountains are upside down. The roads lead nowhere, or perhaps everywhere at once. They say, animals were only the beginning. This museum holds all that has slipped between the seams of remembering. And they open their hand. Inside rests a tiny creature, no larger than a key. It looks at you with eyes that seem older than oceans. You cannot tell if it is bird, fish, or thought. When it blinks, you feel yourself forget something small. The shape of a childhood toy, the scent of rain on a street you once walked. The curator lets it go. It dissolves in the air like smoke, or perhaps like time. You feel no loss. You feel lighter. One of the doorways sighs, or perhaps it yawns, and begins to open. On the other side, you glimpse a horizon that bends in circles, a sky with too many moons, a forest of roots that grow upward, searching for stars. This, the curator says, is where the animals went, and where you may go if you choose. The ticket in your hand trembles. The letters shift again. They now read, "Admittance granted, no return." The curator tilts their head. For a moment, their face is one you recognize. A teacher, a stranger, a dream you forgot. And then it is no one again. You step closer to the doorway. The air is warm, though you feel a chill in your bones. Behind you, the staircase is gone. The museum has folded itself completely, pressed into a single feather, which drifts slowly upward and disappears. You realize there is only forward, only the next dream. You cross the threshold, and the Museum of Forgotten Animals vanishes forever.